The liberals, especially in the media, are having to come to grips with their own perfidy, with their own insidiousness. This we saw in The View yesterday when, after The View has been ranting and raving about Matt Gaetz, President Trump's pick for Attorney General, the lawyers made them issue this disclaimer.
On screen. What about Gaetz? Sonny, you have a legal note.
I do have a legal note. Thank you, Whoopi. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations, calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. You can see Sunny Hostin either sincerely or performatively showing her rage that she has to read this legal disclaimer. Why does she have to read the legal disclaimer? Because she knows that The View is defaming Matt Gaetz. If The View comes out and says, he's a sex criminal, he's a this, he's a that. And why? Well, they open it with they kind of bury the lead. They open it to say, Matt Gaetz denies the allegations. Yeah, but we don't believe Matt Gaetz. We hate that guy. He's a total jerk. Oh, we hate Matt Gaetz. And also, the DOJ investigated him for years and did not pursue any charges. In other words, they effectively cleared him of those charges. The same DOJ that we are told by The View is independent and above political considerations and is just merely enforcing the law like Lady Justice with a blindfold on. The DOJ that is currently run by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris cleared Matt Gaetz for all intents and purposes. Oh, and then she says, all right, so that's my disclaimer. And then they cut to commercial because they have nothing to say about that. If I read a disclaimer on some controversial issue, you know, if lawyers made, I'm not saying they did, but let's say lawyers made me stop talking about how in the 2020 election, the Pennsylvania state constitution prohibits widespread indiscriminate mail-in ballots. And yet the election officials and the Democrats sent them out anyway in contravention of the state constitution. If I brought up this kind of odd circumstance, it would seem unconstitutional circumstance, maybe some lawyer would make me say, but, you know, the Supreme Court has ruled that it's okay to violate the Constitution or whatever. I would read that disclaimer if I were required to do so, but then I would comment on it. I would explain why I disagree with that interpretation of the law and why my view was obviously correct. But here, The View can't do that because they really have nothing. So the best they can do, the best the press can do, this is a masterclass, is eat crow and move on. That's the best they can do. I don't think we should really let them move on because I think they've so decimated their credibility that there need to be real consequences, like, for instance, tearing up the White House press room seating chart, which there has been some rumor actually will happen, to bring in the new media voices and the podcasters and the streamers that even the establishment media are admitting run the show today. We'll see what happens. Go to HomeTitleLock.com, promo code Knowles. Did you know that American homeowners have over $32 trillion in equity? Cyber criminals are targeting it with a scam the FBI calls house stealing. It's shockingly simple. With one forged document and a fake notary stamp available online, criminals can transfer your home's title to their name. From there, they can take out loans or even sell your home, all without your knowing. You won't discover it until foreclosure or collection notices appear in your mailbox. There is a simple solution with triple lock protection from Home Title Lock. Here's what it does. It monitors your title 24/7, alerts you instantly to any title changes, and if fraud occurs, their team restores your title at no extra cost. When was the last time you checked your home title? Like most people, probably never. That is exactly what scammers are counting on. How can you stop them? You head to HomeTitleLock.com, use promo code Knowles, KNWLES, for a free title history report and a 30-day free trial of triple lock protection. Do not wait. Protect your home before it is too late. Go to HomeTitleLock.com, promo code Knowles. Now, some Democrat politicians, even beyond the media, are being forced to own up to their lies. Here's one. I really like this from Hakeem Jeffries, the Democrat leader in the House of Representatives, soon to be the minority leader of the House of Representatives. Or I'm sorry, he is currently the minority leader. Republicans even presently have a slim majority, but he will remain the minority leader in the next Congress. Hakeem Jeffries was asked by NBC on Meet the Press if he would agree with the widespread Democrat media, but I repeat myself, characterization of Trump's DNI pick, Director of National Intelligence pick, Tulsi Gabbard, as a Russian asset. Here's what he says.
Leader Jeffries, you're not willing to say she's a Russian asset.
No, that's not how I would characterize her at this particular juncture, but okay. I'm open to scrutinizing whatever information is presented to all of us, but this is going to fall on Senate Democrats and Senate Republicans.
No, that's not how I would characterize her at this particular juncture. So he's saying, I really want to characterize her this way, but I would not do that right now. Why? Where did this even come from? I love that this is even a question that the media can ask, because what's it based on? It's based on a baseless accusation from Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton launched this defamatory campaign against Tulsi Gabbard back in 2020. She said, she insinuated, and then a spokesman confirmed, she said that Tulsi Gabbard was the favorite of the Russians. And they were propping her up, and she's effectively a Russian asset. And the Democrats have run with this since then. Now, Hakeem Jeffries knows, I'm not going to go there. Why not? I don't even think it's just because it's defamatory, because it's difficult to be held liable for defaming public figures in America. It's not true in every country, but in America it is. I think it's because Hakeem Jeffries is a pretty smart politician, and he realizes that to call Tulsi Gabbard a Russian stooge at this point is to call the voters Russian stooges. Because Tulsi was out there on the campaign trail with Trump regularly. It's not as though Tulsi hid her hand, and then when Trump won, she said, I support him, and now he's going to put me in some position. She was campaigning with him. She was part of the deal in electing Trump. She was very, very public. She switched parties for this. And people voted in part for her. They voted in part for Bobby Kennedy. They voted in part for Elon Musk. They voted in part for Howard Lutnick. They voted in part for the prominent figures on the campaign. And that includes Tulsi. Vivek, J.D. Vance, and Tulsi. So what Hakeem is realizing, because the Democrats lost the popular vote, because they lost 1 in 5 black guys, because they lost 46% of Hispanics, because they lost 40% of women under the age of 30, she's realizing, yikes. I can't pull the Principal Skinner here. I can't say, am I out of touch? No, it's the children who must be wrong. I can't say it must be the voters who are wrong. I can't say the voters are stooges for the Russians. It's especially ironic because the Democrats were legitimately stooges for the Russians for most of the 20th century. They were carrying water for Stalin. The New York Times, lying about Stalin, defending him. The American left broadly defending the Soviet Union and so many communist dictators. So it's kind of rich now that they're calling us the Russian stooges. But in any case, they realize, hi, I'm the problem. Maybe it's me. That was a great clip. Stop though. Stop what you're doing and ring that bell and subscribe. Okay? I don't want to have to ask you again. We'll see you next time.